What is going on, gang? So, we have some news for you. And there's a little caveat to the news that I want to make sure that you all know. Okay? So, let's get into this. Yankees Twitter. Yankees Twitter. I'm gonna read this out to you. Okay. Prior to tonight's game in Baltimore, the Yankees have returned Willie Calhoun from rehab, reinstated him from the 10-day injured list, and then they DFA'd him. So they've cleared up a roster spot. And I know a lot of folks may say, well, you needed to clear up a roster spot for Aaron Judge. Well, no, you didn't. He was already on the 40-man. He was never put on the 60-day IL. So he was never taken off the 40-man. So they did not need to do it. They'll probably option somebody out for Judge just to clear the 26-man roster spot. But this tells me that something's coming in the pipeline. What? I don't know, which is why I want you folks to give me your insight on this. But I definitely want you to know. But shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. CJ, Spinning Mantis, Skunjili. What's up, my man? Why isn't anyone talking about your part? It's a good question, Skunjili. It's a good question. Egger's in the house. Steven, what's up? So I just put out my MLB trade deadline predictions part 4. If you haven't seen that, I got the Yankees making 2 moves there. And I want to know what you think of those. So, and again, maybe they're coming. Could be Fortran. It could be brother Pellegrino on run 9. What's up, man? It could be Candelario. It could be not Dylan. Yeah, I know. I don't think Dylan Carson is the right fit here. And I'm looking down just to make sure. See if I see anything here. I'm looking at MLBTradeRumors.com right now. Yeah, so they just DFA'd Willie Calhoun. Now, on MLBTradeRumors.com, the Marlins are looking to add a starting pitcher. I don't know why they're loaded in starting pitcher, and I said this a little while ago. The starting pitching prices right now are high because of the Lucas Giolito trade. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm calling the Marlins. Say, you want Herman? You want Severino? We'll give you one of those. We want some good prospects back. If you're gonna have to pay a premium for starting pitching, you might as well charge a premium for starting pitching. The Yankees have those 2 guys. Severino's a free agent at the end of the year. I don't see him coming back. Domingo has 1 more year before he becomes a free agent. He's got a perfect game to his credit now, so he's got a little bit of street cred here. And maybe it's Cody Bellinger, Anthony. I don't know yet. So Florial. So Joel Sherman. I'm glad you brought him up, TJ. Joel Sherman saying that the Yankees are likely to trade Estevan Florial before the deadline, which makes sense. No, it's not Derek. Derek was never taken off the 40-man. I'm not Derek. Judge was never taken off the 40-man. So DFAing a player takes them off the 40-man. So there's a difference. So if Judge comes back, all they need to do is option a player. It's here. If you DFA somebody, removes them from the 40-man roster altogether. So you don't need to do this to make room for Judge because he was never put on the 60-man roster. I'm put on the 60-day IL, Derek. So I hope that clears it up a little bit. But this is a peculiar move here. Yeah, I hope they don't trade Peraza too for trade. So, and again, Soto time would be fantastic. I mean, the bottom line is like, I tier this. The premier name for left field, if they're going to go for left field, is Juan Soto. Then you have Cody Bellinger right below him. He's more expensive than all these guys. And then if you want to stay on the relatively cheap side or whatever you want to call it, you get a Randall Grichuk from the outfield, from the Rockies. He kills lefties, okay, better than any Yankee outfielder that we have. You can also platoon him. You can bat Bowers or McKinney versus righties. You could put Grichuk against lefties. So, there are moves that the Yankees can make. And Soto obviously is the first pick, but I don't know. Well, Gary, there's a rumor. The rumors are pretty hard right now that the Yankees are going to trade Gleyber Torres to the Marlins. So, Gary, they might sell. They don't have many sellable pieces, but if they do sell, these are the pieces you get trade value back from Gleyber Torres. Like, you don't move a Torres just to get a roster spot because you don't like him. You get value back for him. The Yankees need several positions filled. So, and they have infield replacements that they could utilize. And, this is where you have an opportunity to play Oswald Peraza, right, on a regular basis. And if they somehow get like a Jeimer Candelaria, you got him at third base. Like you have more athleticism and better defense in the infield now if they move Torres. So if they're gonna move him, get something good for him. So, and I'm the same here with your 4 train. I want pitching for Torres too. Yankees need a damn starter. They need a reliever. Okay, they need one of each, maybe 2 relievers. So this is an opportunity to cash in. It really, really is. The Marlins are loaded with pitching. So as soon as I saw that, my cashman, you better be on the phone with the Marlins right now. And if there's rumors that you're going to trade Torres, maybe you can package a Herman. Maybe you can package a Severino there. Get them a starting pitcher that they want and get some pitching in return. Prospects, a reliever, something with controllable years. Okay? So, and the Marlins, the Marlins are being slick. They're being savvy, and they absolutely are, man. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely freaking right. So it's going to be really interesting the next couple of days. And for those that say Cashman's doing nothing, that's baloney. He's on the phones. He got beat by the Mets for David Robertson, who got traded to the Marlins. They added a reliever already. So he was already out. And, Everson Pereira. No, well, Skinjulic, I'm glad you brought that up too. So the Yankees are apparently right now they're holding firm on Pereira and Jason Dominguez. But with that said, if they're going to trade either one of those guys or both, it's got to be for Juan Soto. You don't trade either one of those guys for Cody Bellinger. So I see Severino I could see him going to the Reds too. But if this throws another caveat, this throws another piece, into the puzzle, right? Another dynamic. So, by the way, smash that like button if you think the Yankees need to make a lot of trades. If you think the Yankees need to upgrade, whether it's buying or selling, smash that thumbs up. Let's get to 200 likes if we can. Really, and I thank you for that. It's always helpful. So, Haystacks, Haystacks. There was a wrestler called Haystacks Calhoun at the end of WWF. I used to follow that guy. It's funny. Apparently, the Yankees are interested in Jordan Hicks from the Cardinals. Okay. Maybe I don't touch grass. It's a possibility. Yeah, exactly, Pam. I would want good players back for Gleyber Torres too. And if you can get good players, I think they're smart enough to know we're not going to trade Torres for crap. We're getting value back for him. So they're definitely smart enough to realize that one. So, but you're absolutely right, Pam. Good players for Torres. So smash that like button, gang. I want to try to get to 200 likes if we can, or 150 likes if we can here. I won't keep you all forever, but I wanted to get this news to you, Willie Calhoun, because the DFA part of Willie Calhoun takes him off the 40-man, meaning they're going to add somebody to the 40-man, and very likely it's going to be a trade. So can we just acquire anyone? Hicks again? No more Hicks acquisitions in this team. Exactly, murderers row. Oh man. Yankees need a whole new team aside from Judge, Cole, and Volpe. I'd rather. Well, the problem, Derek, is there's not many sellable pieces that teams want. But you're gonna have to move some relievers if you want to sell. You take one, and again, what I think can be advantageous to the Yankees right now is that the starting pitching market, like the cease price, can be insanely high. Any starting pitcher that's pretty good, the price will be insanely high. And the fact that Herman and Severino have been relatively inconsistent, they could be attractive pieces for a team who wants to add an arm. And you won't have to pay top prices, but maybe the Yankees can get a prospect in the top 10 for one of those guys or both of them. You never know. I don't see Severino coming back at the end after this year anyway. So I don't see the point of moving him to the bullpen. So I'd rather trade him now and get some value back and add some prospects here that you might be able to pad a prospect package for a Juan Soto, somebody like that. So Soto's the guy you move a lot for. You don't need to give up the farm for Cody Bellinger. So I think it's not. They're not. Yeah, Jake. I love your idea and areas, but they're not going to get Arias. There's no way the Marlins are going to move that guy. No, it would be amazing, but it would cost a hell of a lot more than Gleyber too. I would love Arias too. Believe me, that would be freaking awesome. No. Yeah, I can't see them trading Stanton. It's a relatively unmovable contract. But you never know. You never know. Maybe nobody's back from an injury. We don't, with the exception of Nestor Cortez, there's nobody else coming back that would reflect a roster spot. Or that would change a roster spot. Cortez is on the 60-day IL, but he can't come back until August 6th. So they'll have to make a move then. But I can't see a problem. Well, John B, this is important too. I have so many other channels pointing this, bashing the Montez and blah blah, and completely ignoring the other facts that he was in on Castillo. They set this last year. They set this insane price for starting pitch, and only the Mariners forked up their top 4 prospects for Castillo, which is a ransom. The Dodgers wouldn't do it. The Braves, the Mets, the Yankees. So, and he was forced to essentially go after Montez, who everybody wanted after Castillo. Fans were begging for Montez. And I don't, I'm very angry at the A's doctor saying he was healthy and all this blah, blah, blah. But the pitchers we gave back up to the Oakland A's, gave to them for him, aren't really doing well either. So, yeah, it was a crappy trade, but he had no choice. Just like, he did get Benintendi. He got Efros. He got other players too. And this is the problem too. Like, who would have predicted a lot of these guys have been hurt? I certainly would not have. So, but, it's just, I think it's important to add perspective to this, John B. But you're right. It was a bust, that trade. It was a bust. So, I know, why did the Cubs keep winning, which makes Bellinger less tradable? That's a good point. It's a good point, Corey. Really good point. Can we trade Caps? Yeah. I hear that, Anthony. I hear that. They might be. Bellinger's having a good year. He's having a good year, and he's going to cash in at the end of the season. So, Jordan Montgomery's available. No, I wouldn't trade Bader back for Montgomery. I wouldn't do that. I would wait for free agency, or I would try to get him in another trade without Bader. I want to keep Bader here, but I get what you're saying, Jordan. That's it's a good point too. So let's try to get them likes up, gang. Let's try to get to 200 likes if we can. Can we trade cash for free? That's Derek. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, Jake, those are the guys that are being talked about on the cheap. So, and again, maybe Sean Casey can work with a Seth Brown. I don't know if he'll get traded here anyway, but I think the more attracted to his versatility, his outfield, and he plays first base. His batting average isn't sexy, but Grichuk also hits pretty well out of Coors as well. But again, I think it's important to realize too, Grichuk is a contact hitter, not a power guy. So contact base hits are not inflated like home runs are. So it's a difference between them, and that's important as well. So Grichuk, I think, if they got him on the cheap, because he is on the cheap, he's going to be free agent at the end of the season anyway, and they got somebody like Jeimer Candelario, they got both. I'd be cool with that, especially if they can't get Bellinger. I mean, Bellinger and Candelario would be a better team acquisition package, right? No doubt about it. And you add a healthy Judge in there, hopefully, and then that's more of a playoff roster. But, I heard, John B., that they might be looking into what they can get for Bader, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't say useless. But that's just me. They're not going to trade the Martian. Everybody knows they're not going to trade the Martian for Greinke. And I think the Martian, basically, I don't know who came up with that slogan, but it's such he's barely hitting 200 in Double-A. So whoever came up with that nickname of the Martian, that's an unfair, nickname for him. And people that called him the next Trout and the next Mantle, why would anybody do that? Is the question. So it's crazy, but then I don't think they're going to get Greinke. They need to go higher than Greinke. But Yankee Frankie, thank you so much for donating. I appreciate the super chat, man. Besides Bellinger, the Yankees need a catcher too. This is where you can maybe do a multiplayer trade with the Rockies. If you get a Grichuk, you can get an Elias Diaz maybe, and you get your catcher there and an outfielder. So it makes sense. And I'm with you too, Fortran. I think, my logic is if you're going to DFA an outfielder, you might as well bring in an outfielder, right? You DFA an infielder to bring up an infielder. Like, that's just generally the way I do a position on the position. But, give the Mets Stanton, whoever else they want in the bullpen for salary relief. Yeah, that would be crazy if they did that. But I'm sure people wouldn't be happy, wouldn't be offended if they did that. Well, exactly, T. Drake. Remember this? People asked for it. They were begging for Montez after Castillo. Nobody seems to want to recall that, but this is true. So, and that, again, blaming Cashman for that is kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless. We need to take ownership too. Damn, we picked the wrong player. Like, we got to take ownership as fans too, in my opinion. I know a lot of fans won't do that, but it's important. And again, those ridiculous asking prices for Luis Castillo, like, elevated the Yankees or the A's asking price for freaking Montez too. So, but again, I wouldn't trade with the A's for pitching anymore. you know. Well, exactly, Hawaiian too. Yeah, Corey, exactly. The Cubs won a 6-game winning streak. They're probably not going to trade Bellinger if they keep winning. Spot on. This is why the Yankees are looking into these other guys. They have to. They have to. Unfortunately, but this is true too. He couldn't cut it. Shortstop Torres, so he's kept him for second base. Yes. He's a solid hitter, though. I'll give him that. So, okay. I'm really curious, Michael, to see what Cashman does. He might be feeling off. He might be feeling a little bit of pressure now. So, I always plays. I hope Cashman reshuffles the deck. Probably a lot of little moves. I could see that too, Sconjillian. I could see that. Yeah, they're looking at trade value for Wandy and Bader to see what they can get, if it makes sense to even be. Yes, they are, because they are on expiring contracts. So, yeah, let's trade Cashman. Trade. I'm telling you, Gary, trade Torres. It makes sense. You can get a top reliever, yes, you can probably get a nice package in return. Well, I don't know, Brandon. The Cubs might be holding on to him now, and maybe they'll hold on to Marcus Stroman too, because they are winning. Now, if they lose the next bunch of games, then maybe it'll be different. Just like the Padres, if they lose the next bunch of games, maybe they'll be open. I mean, they're already taking calls on Soto, so the Yankees need a couple of strokes of good luck. And the same thing here, Tim Kennedy. Snell and Hader would be a hell of a package. And they're on expiring contract, but you still have to pay a ransom for both of them because of the pitching prices. But it wouldn't cost as much as Soto. If you can get Snell and Hader and not get Soto, I'll take Bellinger. If you can get Bellinger and Snell and Hader, God, yeah. Oh, I would, Tim. Would you? So we're still hearing that they're listening on Snell and Hader, but I think it's going to go right down to the wire like it usually does. Randy Levine, oh God, yeah, please move Randy Levine. No. Maybe it is Soto Hayden. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, Bader's pretty much the best defensive center fielder in baseball. Bellinger's a great defender too, but Bader's like elite defensively. Oh. I don't know if Ketel Marte has the same value he does a couple years ago, Victor. But it's, if he plays second base, they move. See, if they move Torres, then it makes more sense to keep Peraza. And somehow, if they get Candelario, then you play Candelario third, you play Peraza at short or whatever, and then you have Volpe at second. And then you have a much more athletic infield and a better defensive infield. So, yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah, I hope he doesn't become the next Dan Pasquale, but I think those nicknames are very premature. No. Well, this is the thing, Jake. He kills lefties. None of our lefties hit lefties well. So, and if they plan on going on the cheap, they're probably going to get him to hit lefties. My guess is, and then they'll use one of our lefties to hit righties. So, and it's where you have like Hammer Candelario. If they get him, he's a switch hitter. He can bat lefty at third base. So there are ways. You're right about that, Jake. We don't need the left fielder to be lefty-handed hitter. We can get lefties elsewhere as well. So, which is, this is why the trade deadline is so fascinating. So there's going to be a lot of guys being discussed and a lot of options that are not available today. They'll probably be available tomorrow. So DFA'd, they probably won't need to, Tasty, but I'm guessing he's on the 60-day IL now, so he's not even on the 40-man. So they don't need to DFA him. And the season's likely over anyway, Tasty, but hypothetically it would be nice if they DFA'd him and just brought in somebody else. Dave, they did not DFA Calhoun because of Judge. They took Calhoun off the 40-man now. Judge, he was never taken off the 40. He was never put on the 60-day IL. So the Judge coming back has nothing to do with Calhoun. But they do have two backup outfielders. What the DFA of Calhoun tells me, Dave, is that a likely trade is coming. A likely trade is coming. For who? I don't know. So they didn't have to DFA him for Judge because Judge never left the 40-man. So, well, he just got bumped up to AAA, Umair. So he's not, just like Dominguez is not ready to be called up. He's nowhere close. I mean, I think Pereira's closer than Dominguez is to being called up, no doubt about it. So, well, they want to keep him on the 40-man to protect him from the Rule 5 draft so he doesn't get scooped up, Umair. That's why some of these guys get on the 40-man, they stay on the 40-man so they don't get scooped up on the 40-man on the Rule 5 draft. Excuse me, Rule 5 draft. So, and Sears isn't really doing much over there, John B. So Sears isn't doing much. And I like Sears. I would have kept him, but that was the price, unfortunately. But again, yeah, Sears here would have been nice. No, I don't disagree with that. Hits like a minor league player, Bader. Does he really? Let's see. I'm going to pull up his stats here. What's making you trash Bader so much? He's batting .259 with 7 homers here and elite defense. Better than most of the other players on the team. So what's the bigger problem? What's the bigger problem with his offense, John? I'm curious. So Lane Thomas is a good option. I think he might be more of a. And again, he also hits righty, so it doesn't address the people's obsession with left-handed bats. A left-handed bat would be nice, but doesn't need to be the left fielder either. So, but let me pull up Lane Thomas's stats too. Now we need pitching too, Dave. Our bullpen is gassed, and our starting rotation has not been the most reliable. So, which is one of the main reasons why the bullpen's gassed. We need hitting and pitching. We need both. So Lane Thomas hitting .290, 16 home runs, having a pretty decent year. We also bats righty. I mean, would I be offended if the Yankees got him? No, not at all. Well, this is true too, Robert, and this is important to point out too. The asking price for teams when it comes to the Yankees are always higher than other teams. They ask more from the Yankees than they do other teams. It just comes with the territory. So, but defense-wise, yeah, I mean, Bader is in the best defensive center fielder in the game. So if you can get a big return for Bader, yeah, I mean, and I would tell him, look, we're going to try and re-sign you in the offseason. Because it would make sense too. He had some kind of thing, Peanut, but it wasn't. The doctors gave him a clean bill of health when he got traded to the Yankees. Yeah, that's a terrible situation with the freaking Montez. It's very frustrating. That trade was a bust. I hope Trevino comes back after Tommy John healthy. Our lineup will be fine. They know to replace Torres. They know they need to replace Torres. But again, look at Volpe's stats and then look at Torres' stats. They're not much different. A little bit of a batting average difference, yes, but if they can replace Torres offensively, you get a Candelario, he's pretty much replaced. You get a Lane Thomas, he's replaced. So I think they know that. I mean, if the Yankees are secretly working on a trade for Soto, I would love that. No, I mentioned McMahon. I mean, for the third base option, he's got 4 more years of control. Not afraid until 2028, and he hits lefty. He's a good defense. He's an elite defensive third baseman, And it sounds like Nolan Arenado is going to waive his no trade clause to go to the Dodgers, which the next best third baseman will be Ryan McMahon. If you can get a Grichuk and McMahon, or if you can get an Elias Diaz, get an Elias Diaz and McMahon. Like, you can address multiple holes with the Rockies. You could do it with the White Sox, the Pirates, the Cardinals. Like, there's a couple of teams that they can address and address multiple areas with one trade with one team. So we'll see if the Yankees do that. I think they'll squeak in Miguel, the Yankees, in the playoffs. And it also it depends on what they do at the deadline. And apparently Cashman's feeling the heat, so that'll, I think, increase the sense of urgency to make some significant moves, or at least effective moves. Is Sweeney ready to be called up to AAA is the question, Steven. And Japar you can bring up. He's not a good defender at third base. He's a better defender at first base, but you can bring him up if you want some power. No doubt about that, Steven. Yankee Frankie, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. So this is the thing. The DFA of Calhoun could be get to see Florial. I'm hearing from Joel Sherman from the New York Post that they're likely going to trade Florial this week. So it's something to keep an eye on. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. So if anybody in here is not subscribed to the channel and you want to be in on all the news, breaking, I'm on top of everything when it comes to the Yankees. So I'll get you the information that you're looking for. So be sure to hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the content and subscribe. And if you haven't done that yet, I want to make sure you don't miss anything. So, and obviously I talk about all the other trades as well. Heart and soul of the Yankees, Glaber? Nah, John, now you're just being silly. Judge and Cole are the heart and soul of the Yankees. Go all in or all out. Exactly, Carlos. You get some players with controllable years that helps them set up at 24 and 25 and beyond, and you get some instant contributors now. So keep Bader, get Bellinger, get Monty. Monty free agency, yes. He's a guy I would look at. I would look at Blake Snell too, and Aaron Nola. I would look at him as well. Long-term closer. Yes, they do. That's why. I mean, if I'm them, I'm on the phone with Pittsburgh right now because they put David Bednar, their closer, who's a beast in the ninth inning. They put him on the market. They also put Mitch Keller, one of their starting pitchers, on the market. The Yankees can get a starter and a reliever in one trade with the Pirates. So, I mean, the guy who I would have wanted was Brian Reynolds, but they gave him a 7 or 8 year extension. So, but then can't hurt to ask. You know? Bader is overrated. Overrated at what, John? That's the thing. And who's telling you he's overrated? Is that your opinion, or are you getting it from somebody else? I'm curious. Trade season, baby. You know that. My favorite time of the year, too. This and free agency. The frenzy, baby. D-Rod's in the house. The Yankees have to ball. T. Drake, you make a good point, but they have to be consistent with the moves that they make. And again, I don't expect them to make big moves every move, but I expect them to make several moves. What I think of Calhoun, it was a necessary. I think it's, to me, T. Drake, it tells me that a trade's coming. So I would pass on Dylan Carlson from the Cardinals. I mean, if you can get Brandon Donovan, that's the guy to get. But he's going to cost a haul. Martin can play the infield and the outfield. Could tell you, I think he might be a switch hitter too, isn't he, Victor? Yeah, they want Torres again, D-Rod. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it would be hard for me to see Ketel Marte traded, but you never know. What's up, Keith? Bowers and Allen and backup outfield is not going to bring up Florial. That's a good point too, Dave. Yep. Something is coming. Something is coming, Keith. Just waiting for it, man. Just waiting for it. All right? Well, they play different positions, John, but the Yankees need to upgrade both third base and left field. So if I'm them, I would try to package these guys in a trade, John. But McMahon, yeah, he's a better hitter. He's a better hitter, and obviously he's an elite defensive third baseman. There's no doubt about that. Him and Arenado ranked pretty much 1 and 2 in all the defensive metrics on third base, all across baseball. So, you know, Calhoun looked like a chubby kid, yeah, but he had a little pop in his bat. He hustled, so I'll give him that. Have to trade a reliever because otherwise, I don't know if they have to trade one. Um, we'll see. But Loizaga is coming back. It sounds like about mid back, maybe early September. So, Boomer, let me pull this up here. Hot take. I need to make a trade to rent him. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. He'll cost a lot. He'll cost a lot. Again, I would keep Peraza at third and just Volpe at second if that's the case. If I'm going to trade for an infielder, Ryan McMahon would probably be the guy I would go get from the Rockies if he became available. And he's also a lefty hitter as well. So it gives him that another lefty bat to balance the lineup out. Well, yeah, Davies, this is a good point too. Like, I think they're going to have to buy and sell. They're going to have to be creative and upgrade in as many areas they possibly can. You know what I mean? And they don't have a lot of sellable pieces unless they're trading pitching, relievers. So Torres and probably Bader and probably Severino are the guys that can get some value back from. How much? I don't know. Torres is probably the most valuable trade piece they have. So, no, he won't do that, John B. Where are you getting this Cashman trashing from, too? You know Cashman wouldn't do that. Jim Ballcap, he's awesome. Love him. That's why I have him on every month. We can talk about our stuff. So he's amazing. Yeah, exactly. Oakland. I mean, Oakland, yeah. I couldn't agree with you more there, Jonathan, in terms of Oakland. Yeah, I'm hearing Torres to Miami too, Mikey. The problem, well, at least the problem right now with Bellinger is that the Cubs keep winning, and it sounds like they're less inclined to trade him if they keep winning. So, which is why I think he's have to look in a lot of different areas for an upgrade from left field. No, and they don't have to trade with Oakland, thankfully. So, exactly. This is and it's a DJ going to be. I mean, we hope DJ is going to be DJ. We need him to be. He's got 3 more years here. Padres want to move Soto. They want to clear him from Ohtani off. I don't know. I don't know why they would trade Soto for Ohtani. Soto's 24. Ohtani's going to be 30. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to me, but I could see them doing it, John. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but that's just me. That's one reason why I don't own the Padres. No. Yeah, DJ's age. I mean, age is definitely getting him. So, but I mean, I was at the game against the Royals on Saturday. He hit that nice opposite field home run, so he still has it. He still has some fire in his bat. So, and he might add Florial in a Torres trade if he trades Torres to the Marlins, then it would make more sense to. I mean, you can add Florial, but it makes more sense to add Herman or Severino. Why do I say that? Because as of a little bit ago, this is MLBTradeRumors.com. Marlins looking to add a starting pitcher. Okay, you can give it to them, and it won't bust their bank. But you could probably, if you add one of those pitchers to Torres, you can get a nice prospect package in return from the Marlins, and they have a very good system, especially pitching. So that's where is a that's where the Yankees could be creative here. And well, this is the same thing here. A lot of folks want contact hitters. We're accusing Cashman. It's just the logic doesn't make sense for a lot of folks. And I get the frustration from fans, but and I get a lot of other folks saying we need contact hitters, and then we recommend the contact hitter, and then they complain about the lack of home runs. Well, contact hitters are not there to hit home runs, so I think it's very important You keep saying Bader is so overhyped by who, John B? Who's overhyping Bader? That's my question. Who? And again, is this your opinion or are you getting this from another channel? I'm asking you that. So Trevino, and the good thing about Trevino too, fortunately, is he got another year. He's not a free agent until 2025. So they have him next year, which is good. If he comes back healthy, it makes sense to, re-up your reliable relievers. So I'm with you there, Mazza. I want you to answer the first question, John, about Bader. Candelario and Thomas for Peraza. Ooh, that'd be a tough one. Thomas has a couple years, and Candelario is a free agent at the end of the season, Driz. If we can get both of them without a Peraza, I would do that. So, I mean, that would be an interesting trade proposal. I'd be curious to see how many people would be willing to give a Peraza for those two. I'm really curious. Oh, damn. Could you imagine Soto and what's their guy? Their stud hitter over there? The Red Sox? Oh, my God. I forgot his name. the young stud. Al, the third baseman. Lefty hitter kills the Yankees. Matchup with oh, God, yeah. Bednar, I'm right with you, Mazza. I'm right with you, 4Train. 4Train's putting out the fire trade proposals, the fire trade ideas. So if you guys and gals haven't subscribed to 4Train Express, please do. Let's support that channel. Let's support them. It's like my youngest is waking up from a nap. Peraza needs to play every day. Exactly, Charlie. Yep. Another catcher. That's why Elias Diaz from the Rockies would be a good idea. Have a relief pitcher from the starting rotation was Cortez. No, Cortez cannot be activated until August 6th. He's on the 60-day IL. He's not even on a 40-man right now. Lester Cortez. So, and he's not. Yeah, he's not eligible because of the 60-man timeline to come off until August 6th. So, Glaber's very streaky, John B. But I want you to answer who the Harrison Bader. Why are you saying he's over? Who's telling you that? If it's not your opinion, I want to know who's telling you that. We got 102 likes. Let's see. I mean, I want to try to get to 150 likes if we can. So if anybody hasn't hit that thumbs up, please do. It's very helpful. That just shows that you know that the Yankees need to make some freaking moves. So Victor Caratini of the Brewers would be a good pickup. Let's pull him up here. Let's pull up Victor. I've heard of him. Victor Caratini. Here we go. He's a catcher. Okay. Batting 240, 5 homers, 18 ribbies. Now let me see. Let's look at his contract. Because controllable years would be a good thing for the Yankees to target, right? Let's see. Contract details. He's a free agent after the season, too. We thank you for that, Dev. And if you trade Torres and you need a third baseman, yeah, well, then you can get Jimmy Candelario. He's available. So, we just don't know yet about McMahon. And it's not. I don't know how many rumors of Ryan McMahon being traded have happened yet either. So, but you never know. You never know. So, yeah, I mean, Bednar gives us a lights out closer for the ninth inning. Lights out, baby. Overrated. Who hyped up Bader's offense? You tell us that, John B. Who did that? Is it the same people who called the Martian, Jason Dominguez the Martian, or the next Mantle, which is the most ridiculous comparison I've ever heard? Joel, my counsel Yeti's in the house. We're talking about Joel's in the house right here. He's got Callie on lockdown. Yep. And Willie Calhoun just got DFA'd a little while ago, Joel. So tells us that a trade's probably coming. Trade's probably coming. Not a lot of teams want to Kleber. Good for them. But you're still not answering the Bader question. Who told you that? They already said Alcantara is not available in the trade, and it's going to cost a lot more than Torres to get him. I would like that. Even though he's not pitching as well this year as he was before, I would do that. Yeah, we're just talking about this too. Candelario and Bellinger. I mean, you get your third baseman, you get your left fielder. If the Cubs stop freaking winning, then maybe Bellinger will be available. And if you get Candelario, you got better defense there, you got more athleticism. And if Judge is healthy, then that's a playoff lineup. I was just talking to Joey from the shift a little while ago on the phone about this. And we would go because we were just found out together at the same time about Calhoun, which throws a wrench. And again, with Judge already being on the 40-man, Calhoun wasn't DFA'd to make room for Judge because Judge was never on the 60-day IL. So this tells me a trade is happening. So Billy Branch, the Yoda, the wise ones here. What's up, my man? Labor to the Marlins makes a lot of sense. The Marlins are a team. Oopsie, let me drop my sunglasses here. I propose the Marlins and drop my phone now. And the Mariners. I'm gonna put my phone on my laptop on the charge. I put I dropped my phone again. What an idiot! Hang on. I propose Marlins and the Mariners for Torres trades because they have pieces that the Yankees could use. So it sounds like the Marlins rumors are gaining some heat here. So, and again, the Marlins have a need. They need a bat, and apparently now they need another starting pitcher, which again, cue the Yankees. You can give them Luis Severino or Domingo Germán with Torres and make a relatively credible trade. Yeah, he didn't want exactly Ron. He didn't want to play here, and again, he's not playing that great in the Chicago White Sox, so they dodged a bullet there. I think the Yankees with Benintendi. So, but everybody wanted him. Cashman got him. So when people say dumpster diving, it's very confusing because he got the top guy, right? He got Benintendi. And they re-signed Judge. They brought in the number one pitching free agent, Carlos Rodon. So that's not dumpster diving. And he got beat out on the Juan Soto trade. He got beat out on the Ohtani trade. He made offers for both of them last deadline. So, see, I don't understand why these people do this too. Sam Moll and Brent Rooker are there along with Paul Blackburn and Trevor May. Judge is scheduled to be back today, Jonathan. Yeah, he is. The pickup of Candelario, Rodney, I think I can see happening because it's not going to cost them a lot. So, and that's probably the type of pickups that the Cashman's going to want to make, right? So, but we'll see. And again, like Candelario doesn't help him for next year. Neither does Grichuk. So neither does Bellinger either because he's a free agent. He's going to cash in after the season. So, Michael, yeah, I mean, the good thing about Tim Anderson and Donaldson's not here. So, he's on the 60-day IL, not on the 40-man, so they didn't really have to worry about him and Tim Donaldson locking hands or whatever. So, thankfully. But, yeah, I mean, they did have a beef, yes. They most certainly did. I think I'm with you, dude. I think the Yankees get a relief pitcher. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to put Severino in the bullpen. Doesn't make sense to me, especially if they're not going to re-sign him. Trade him and get something back for him. Domingo Germán could be long relief. Clark Schmidt, I would not move out of the rotation. Not right now. So, Yeah, Calhoun was a nice spare piece, Billy. Yes, he was. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees have other outfielders. They really do. So, you know, it is what it is. Any chance DJ was a good trade? Very, I'd say the chances are very low, Mikey. But you never know. You never know. I mean, they're looking into seeing what they can get for Bader and Wandy Peralta. We did hear that. So, would I do Dominguez, Everson Pereira, Trey Sweeney, and who's Berger? Who's Berger, Marky? Who are you referring to there? I'll make sure I know who you're mentioning there. I want to make sure I have the right intent. I mean, Dominguez and Pereira, I, I can't see the Yankees getting Soto without one of those guys going, maybe even both. They don't really need many infield prospects, so Sweeney might not even be. I would imagine they would probably use more pitching prospects than anything else, but you never know. Marinacho is trade beef. Has trade value too. Yes, he does. Fortrain. Wallcat put out some good stuff, man. Yes, he does. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Marlins are looking at a starting pitcher. That's why, and the rumors are heavy. That Torres is going to get traded to the Marlins. So try to add Severino or Herman to that trade and get some more value back. You know what I mean? So you might as well. You might as well. Exactly, Raygo. Exactly, Ray Gonzo. You move Sevy, get something for you. Even if you'll get $5 million back too of payroll relief that they can use elsewhere. So yeah, Ballcap does great stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think Willie probably knew too. So, but yeah, I mean, Willie, we got what we needed out of Willie, and he was a good Yankee, and so some of these other guys. So, you know, you're right about that. Sebi never lived up to expectations after that 1 year. You're 100% right, John B. 100% right. Same here. Train. I see him going to Seattle in the offseason too. I see them making a big play in free agency, especially if the Dodgers get Arenado and Ohtani would be freaking nuts. But Arenado's 30 plus million too, so I don't know if they're going to do both, the Dodgers, but they could. You know that. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Ray Gonzo. It's a pleasure doing this. I love doing this with you guys and gals. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that thumbs up, gang. Let's try to get to 200 likes if we can. What happened to Sal Perez? Well, I was just maybe a little bit of more speculation. I don't see the point. Like, he makes 20 plus million a year, plus he's 33, Gerard, so he's not necessarily a fit here. It's could I see him getting moved? Maybe, but he's like the franchise over there in Kansas City, so it doesn't make sense. I mean, I can't see him getting moved to the Yankees. It would make zero sense. Well, exactly, too, Michael. I mean, the Yankees better hope that Judge stays healthy and doesn't have another setback. So, or Seattle. Watch out for Seattle, John B. for Ohtani. Yankee Frankie, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Bellinger, Snell, and McMahon. I mean, I would love that deadline. Bellinger, Blake Snell for the rotation, Ryan McMahon for third base. I would love that. If they can somehow weasel a reliever out of somewhere, I'd be ecstatic. Ecstatic. So, yes, Mark Feinton, he's being shopped. It sounds like Texas and San Francisco are the favorites, D-Rod. Yes, they are. And the Rangers are. I mean, and I could see the Texas Rangers because they lost DeGrom. They have the motivation. They're willing to spend. And Verlander's hot again. It's back to like Ace Verlander. So it makes sense to get him. And they also got Aroldis Chapman, but I would add another reliever there, one way or the other, from Texas. So I would add Verlander and a reliever. And I heard the San Francisco Giants might be interested in Marcus Stroman too. So, but Jordan Hicks to the Rangers would make a lot of sense too. Well, exactly. They got to buy some piece. They got to sell some piece. They have to be versatile here, the Yankees. They have to make several moves. They really, really do. So, cool. Calhoun was out of options. Yes, he was. Yeah, exactly, Michael. Exactly. That's why I had to be DFA. That's a good point. If Verlander's traded, the Mets will have to. Yeah, I mean, but they'll get a decent return, and if the more the Mets eat, the better return they'll get. So, and the Texas has good prospects and a lot of money, so there is a good trade fit for the Mets. A lot of prospects, D-Rod. If you look at their, a lot of young pitching. Let's look at. I'm going to pull up the Marlins. Marlins top prospects. I'm going to pull up Marlins top prospects. So, and again, Labor Torres. You'll probably get a top 10 prospect for Torres. You're not going to get a top 5, but let me pull up. Let's see. Jacob Miller, number 7, a right-handed pitcher. Then you got a versatile Jordan Groshans, a versatile infielder. You also have Sixto. I would ask for Sixto Sanchez. He's their 10th prospect. He used to be the number 1. And then one of those guys from 6 to 10, and then if you can get a guy from 10 to 11 to 15, you'd be pretty good. So it'll be. I think they can get a good amount of prospect capital back from the Marlins. And if the Marlins want to go for it and really make a run, then it makes sense for them to give a decent package back. What media, John B, made Baderbeck? That'll be the next superstar. What media are you talking about? Let's just not say the media. You gotta be. I need you to be precise because I'm gonna look it up. Showboat in center field. I need you to show that too, John B. I've never seen that. He's an elite defender. He's the best defensive center fielder out there. So what media? John B, just so you know, I fact check everything, and I expect the people who make comments to do the same. Otherwise, I call it out. Just so you know, John B, this isn't nothing against you. Those types of things should be challenged. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bader and Torres have the most value. Yes, they do, Michael. Yes, they do. I would love that, Hayden. If he was on the phone about Soto right now, I would love that, baby. Oh, Devers, Rafael Devers is the guy. Could you imagine, like, Devers and Soto over there in Boston? Good Lord. Yes, good value. Exactly, Davey. Yeah, they'll trade Soto for the write-off for John B. It's going to be a haul. And then they know that. I think everybody else knows that, too. They might be able to get Monty back from the Cards. They might be able to get him. For who? I don't know. But Soto and Snell, I would love, Kyle. When Bader came back from single-handedly wants, yeah, exactly. He tends to come back quickly off the IL too. There's none of these 6-week, 8-week, 3-month IL stints. What can Seattle offer Soto? I mean, they're gonna have to give some major league pieces. I mean, they gave up their first 4 prospects for freaking Luis Castillo. So they're gonna have to do a combination of prospects and major league players for Juan Soto, Davey. I can't see Soto going to the Mariners. I can see them signing Ohtani in free agency now. Only All-Star caliber can be Yankee center fielder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 127 likes, gang. All right, let's try to get to 150, gang. Do we have 23 people that can hit that thumbs up, gang? I greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna wrap this up in a few minutes too. I want to get this stuff out to you. And you need to know the moves that happen with the Yankees when they happen. So, and that's one of the things I've always said I would do. And right now, I'm gonna look and see if anything else has happened. All right, the Twins starting pitchers are drawing trade interest. Okay. No surprise. But yeah, Bader is hitting better than more than half the team. That's a good point for a train. I mean, you said not your opinion, John. You said the press hyped him up. Now you're changing your story. And the team that made the LCS if it weren't for exactly. He carried him, AJ, due to postseason last year. Thank you. Yes, he carried them. Yes, and the Castro was not better than Beta. I'm with you there too, Yankee Frankie. I would only trade Gleyber for pitching. It's a good point. Hayden, I would love it if he was on the phone about Soto right now, and we wouldn't hear it either until he got. The only thing we would find out is the Yankees to acquire Juan Soto. We wouldn't hear they're closing it. Very, very, very unlikely. So, yeah, I think the Phillies made some big moves, and the Yankees looking to do the same. Similar to Betty, and then they batted right-handed. They were fast. Okay. You would trade Torres, Florial, Herman, save for Arenado. Oh, that's a big trade. That's a big trade, Dave Portnoy. And that's a big one, dude. How close are we to 150 likes, gang? Are we close? Yeah, not. I don't know if any All-Star center fielders are available in Major Leagues, D-Rod. That's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, they need more relievers, said Zeppelin. They definitely need more relievers. If I'm them, I'm training for 1 or 2 relievers. You can try to get Alcantara, Jeff. I mean, at the very least, I would try. But the chance of them getting are slim to none. But yeah, Jesus Luzardo. It's funny. Talking to Shift earlier about that, he brought up Luzardo. Yeah. Well, we don't know that because he's not huge for Seattle right now. He's good. He's good, John B, but he's not huge. So. And the ransom that Seattle paid for Castillo was insanity. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's crazy. Anthony Garcia to be a 40 homer. Tampa Tarpons. He's in high A. Batting 193 with 6 home runs and 24 ribbies this year. So. No, it's not, Patrick. But I make time for it because it's important to me. I would like it to eventually be, Somebody was just asking if this channel is my full-time job. Where'd it go? Apologies. Here it is. Yeah, not yet, but I'm hoping it will be, Patrick. Why do you say that, Mantle 7? Anyone asking for Grichuk should hold hands with Cashman Boone? Why do you say that, just out of curiosity? Just appreciate you, 270. Thank you, man. The likeliness of Bellinger being traded is decreasing by the day. So who's your alternative there, Mantle? Just out of curiosity. Easily tip 50, yeah. Alcantara isn't very off limits. He was a key part of bullpen, but now he's gassed. He's exceeded his innings pitch, and he's gassed. I would like him, but he's going to be a free agent into the season, so I think the Yankees can upgrade there. I would personally move Torres if they can get the appropriate value back. Yeah, he's making a second rehab start tonight, Nestor Cortez. Yes, he is, Jonathan. You're right. Sub-Zero, thank you very, very much for the generous super chat. Thank you for that. Well, left-handed bat the Yankees need, and what else do we need to complete the wild card? I appreciate you. I appreciate that, man. I'm happy to make your day, dude. I appreciate your generosity. Thank you. Well, obviously, if they can get Cody Bellinger, that's a good fit. My personal first choice is Juan Soto, but if you can't get Soto, you try to get Bellinger. But if the Cubs keep winning, it's going to be hard to acquire Bellinger. So after him, it's a little bit dicey. That's why they're talking about guys like Grichuk and like Lane Thomas, because they both hit righty. But you know what I mean? That's why. But again, if they have to be considered because of the skill set that they bring. So, but after Bellinger, lefty, just don't know who's available right now. That's the other problem. But Soto and Bellinger are the 1 and 2 gets, Sub-Zero. So, but if you can get like a Ryan McMahon for third base from the Rockies, he's a lefty. So the lefty bat doesn't necessarily have to be the left fielder. You can get a lefty elsewhere. Fork Train, I appreciate you, brother. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your insights as always. And gang, be sure to subscribe to the Fork Train Express if you haven't done that yet. Very loyal, diehard Yankee fan, puts out consistent, great content too. So let's show him some love too, man. Thank you, Mazza. Always a pleasure, brother. That's the thing, Danny. It's after Bellinger. That's why people talk about Seth Brown, Grichuk, Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas has the best offensive stats there, but none of them are righties. Well, Seth Brown, I think, is a lefty. Yeah, I think those guys. Wait, Thomas and Grichuk are righties. Seth Brown's a lefty. So, Ohtani to Seattle would be crazy because then you could, he'd bat right behind Julio Rodriguez, and then you'd have him up in the rotation with freaking Luis Castillo. He's kind of best fit. So, if they traded in the outfield, Jason, maybe Tommy Pham, maybe. And Star Insurance. Yeah, no kidding, Luigi. If Sevio or Herman goes to Miami, Torres came in would demand the Yankees throwing a few $1 million to defray the cost of their contract. Depends on how good of a return she's willing to give us. We'll throw in a few million, but you got to give us a good return. Sorry. Yeah, I heard Jordan Hicks is of interest in the Yankees now. Hey, Mo, what's good? And it's funny how he put so much Randall Grichuk here. And there's certain channels that are doing, like, I know, they don't really give much insight into it. But again, he hits lefties. That's why they would bring him here, because he kills lefties. So, and they keep platooning him again with some of the lefties they have here to hit righties better. And he's on the cheap. So if the Yankees' goal is to stay on the cheap, he's got to be probably the top fit.
Seth Brown's he's got 3 more years of arbitration again too. So we just don't know. I don't know. But he's not their first pick. I mean, Soto is the top guy. Then Bellinger has been on the Yankees' radar for a long time. So, appreciate you, Frank. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my man. If Soto gets traded, it won't be the same pay. No, they would get less for him, but it would still be a haul. Definitely be a haul. He got 1 less year of control. So, and the Padres know that, which is why it makes sense for them to add a Snell or a Hader to the deal so they can get more back. And that's the other thing too, Owens. Yeah, I mean, the likeliness is getting smaller by the day that the Cubs are going to trade Bellinger because they keep freaking winning. Stop winning, Cubs. Stop doing it. Eh? Well, I don't know. They got 2 and 3 prospects for pitching, so they set the market for starting pitching very high. But you might be right. A top 5 prospect for Torres, maybe. So, Davey, it's going to have to be, unfortunately, prospects and major league players to get Soto for Seattle, I think. I could be wrong. But you'd have to give up, like, probably Kellenic or Logan Gilbert. Then you have to give up a lot. Prospects and, you know what I mean? A lot to get Soto. Anybody that gets him is going to have to give up a ton. So, what's going on, my man? Lapari, what's good, my friend? Bryce, what's good? I am wrapping this up in a minute, too, gang. So the Yankees DFA'd Willie Calhoun for those that haven't heard. And we'll see now what's next. But the Yankees there's big rumors going out. The Yankees might be trading Gleyber Torres to the Marlins. And the Marlins are also looking for a starting pitcher. It makes sense for the Yankees to package guys if they can. So I keep looking here to see. Yep, Yankees are interested in Jordan Hicks. Getting more intel on Jordan Hicks. Yankees or Texas Rangers. The Rangers already got Aroldis Chapman, but I would make Aroldis Chapman the setup guy. What's good, ATX? My man. What's up? What is good? Hicks, Gallo, guarding back. Yeah, people are predicting Hicks to the Rangers. It hasn't happened yet, but let me take a look. The Rangers are pursuing him, but it hasn't happened yet, Drew. It's not official yet. This is where the Yankees can jump in and maybe do something here. Chris Carter, yeah, Shemp. Chris Carter's got a bat. He had trouble keeping it at, he just home run or strikeout for him all the time. I liked him. Good guy. If the Brewers eat a ton of his contract, I would consider Christian Yelich, Mike. But he's got 7 years left on his deal, too, so it's a long-term commitment. It's a big commitment for Christian Yelich. So 7 years at like $175 million left on his contract. That's a lot. So Dylan Carlson, I mean, would probably one of the last choices for me, but he's got controllable years, and that's got value in the trade market. It really does. Joe, my consigliere, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Joel's holding Cali down, by the way. That's my consigliere. Holding it down. What do I think the Yankees would give up for Soto? Probably Dominguez, probably Everson Pereira, probably Will Warren, maybe Yoendris Gomez, and more. Like 5 or 6 guys, I think. Probably maybe 5. I have no idea about that NASCAR. I have no idea of anything NASCAR. I don't think it's going to affect the Yankee schedule or Mets schedule. So I don't know enough, Lapari, unfortunately. Sorry, dude. I don't follow NASCAR at all. So until 2020. So it won't affect them for 2 years, which is good. God bless to you too, Corey. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for coming on. Better be a couple of good trades, Emilio. I'm with you there. The Yankees get Seth Brown or Bellinger. Do they get rid of Bauer, Frenchie now? They'll get rid of one of them. They have to. So yes, that brother Bill. I would. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what I got for you, gang. I want to wrap this up really quickly. I appreciate you all coming on. Appreciate your insights. Your feedback is always welcome, whether we agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. Appreciate all the support, super chats. DFA Nick Ramirez. They might, if they get a big reliever, they might, or they might DFA someone else. And that's gonna be an interesting one, Nick Ramirez, because he's under control until 2029. As is, I think, Ian Hamilton. That's a lot of controllable years. So that's a tough. It's hard to DFA somebody with 5 controllable years or 4. So, oh, you did ticket info. I'll take a look at it, Joel. Did you send it today, my friend? Let me pull this up right now. Hang on, my man. Joel and I are both going to the Old Timers game in September from Yankee Stadium. I'll be able to meet him, which would be kind of awesome. Yankee side of the field. Yeah, I'm on that too. I'm on the Yankee side of the field too. So we'll be on the same side. I'll be in the field level, Joel. I'll take a look, and I'm gonna take a look at the details over email. But I appreciate that. But I'm looking forward to meeting you, Joel. I'll be there with my mom. So I'm looking forward to my mom meeting you too. I told you that you're my consigliere, and she's a big consigliere person. Big Silvio fan, big Tom Hagen fan. Consigliere's a very important person. So keep that in mind, Joel, because you're on my consigliere. It'd be awesome to meet you, Joel. I appreciate it. But let me let everybody go. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate all of you. Peace and love, gang. And I'll see you tonight for the postgame. Over now.